Um, you were mentioning about like bug out bags, and should people have bug out bags? Should people have like a food cache? And it is as simple as in Maine over here. We're in the US, we're in Maine, and the power's out for like 4 days. Like, do you have a way to heat yourself? Like I
Mm.
said, 3 hours without a normal body temperature can mess you up to a point where it can be fatal. So I think it's very prudent that people think about these things, not only from a survival standpoint, but like just as a living and resilient standpoint. Do you have to rely on government aid and some kind of um, National Guard service if the power goes out? It can be as simple as that. And some people are in a point where they're struggling so much that they have to go to their neighbor's place, go to their parents' place, and so forth. So definitely think that people should have their own way to have water, own way to have food, own way to protect themselves, own way to communicate with the outside world, and to care for themselves, and to know all the technicalities that requires you to manage every little bit of that. And it does take a village to do all that oftentimes. And I think one of the things that I appreciate in the preparedness communities is that some of them, the ones that I really admire, are actual communities that are geographically close to each other, like whole kind of townships, and that's just like really cool, because it's not just like we're all in our own bunkers, like with a bunch of ammunition, which is fine, but it's cool to be in a community that has each other's backs, that knows like, hey, if this happens, they're willing to kind of share this resource, and I will share this resource with you.
Yeah.
It's that is such a power. So I do think at the end of the day, it's not only being prepared in your own family unit, but also encouraging your community to be supportive of what you're trying to do as well. And I think my wife works in public health, so it's interesting to see that they are starting to focus on these like programs to help people be more prepared. And we're talking about like preparedness for like nuclear strikes and that type of stuff. So it's like very, very like, okay, if the government's thinking about that now, then we definitely should be thinking about how we could be more prepared.
Because that's, I think, a fallout's kind of brought that home to a lot of people.